Why do you think, Mr. Tung, that President Trump wanted to meet with you personally?
I don't know, Senator.
Mr. Dunlap?
I agree. I don't know.
Anything that struck you as unusual about the questioning around your judicial philosophy?
No, I was honored to be able to appear in the Oval Office.
It is an honor to be in the Oval Office. I can agree with that. Mr. Tung, when you were in private practice, you represented a number of cryptocurrency clients, including a Coinbase employee who later pled guilty to wire fraud. If confirmed, would it be your intention to recuse yourself from any cases related to cryptocurrency?
Senator, recusal will be assessed again if I'm so fortunate to be confirmed on a case-by-case basis based on the facts and based on the degree of the relationship I might have with the matter at hand.
But does it seem to you that having had a number of cryptocurrency clients, the presumption should be in favor of recusal?
Hey, Patriots. Welcome back to Right View Nation, the home of unapologetic truth, unfiltered commentary, and unwavering American values. If you're tired of watching the left erode our Constitution one appointment at a time, smash that like button, subscribe to join the movement, and comment below with your thoughts. Let's keep this red, white, and blue train rolling strong. So, let's talk about what just went down in the Senate hearing room. Mr. Tong and Mr. Dunlap, two nominees up for powerful federal court appointments, just sat in front of the American people, and what we heard confirms what many of us already knew. This fight isn't just about the law. It's about the future of our republic.
Dr. Coons.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Thank you to the nominees, to Mr. Tung and to Mr. Dunlap, for you and your family's willingness to serve. Mr. Tung, in particular, thank you for your service at DOJ. I just wanted to ask both of you, if I could. The record reflects you both met with President Trump on July 2nd to discuss your nominations. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator.
That is correct.
Who attended that meeting, Mr. Dunlap? Where did it occur, and what was the topic of discussion?
We met in the Oval Office. I believe we were accompanied by the Chief Counsel, and we generally discussed background judicial philosophy.
Mr. Tung, what did you discuss at the meeting, and what sort of questions were you asked?
Senator, we discussed my background and qualifications.
As far as I can tell, during both the Biden administration and the first Trump administration, personal meetings by the President of the United States with circuit court nominees were exceedingly rare. Why do you think, Mr. Tung, that President Trump wanted to meet with you personally?
I don't know, Senator.
Mr. Dunlap?
I agree. I don't know.
Anything that struck you as unusual about the questioning around your judicial philosophy?
No, I was honored to be able to appear in the Oval Office.
It is an honor to be in the Oval Office. I can agree with that. Mr. Tung, when you were in private practice, you represented a number of cryptocurrency clients, including a Coinbase employee who later pled guilty to wire fraud. If confirmed, would it be your intention to recuse yourself from any cases related to cryptocurrency?
Senator, recusal will be assessed again if I'm so fortunate to be confirmed on a case-by-case basis based on the facts and based on the degree of the relationship I might have with the matter at hand.
But does it seem to you that having had a number of cryptocurrency clients, the presumption should be in favor of recusal?
Not necessarily, Senator. It is a fact-specific inquiry that I would engage in
I know.
carefully.
I'm familiar with the inquiry. What about cases brought by Jones Day?
I may recuse for a time in cases brought by my firm, Jones Day.
Why would the recusal be time-bound?
Well, because after a period of time, the conflict of interest and the perception of the conflict of interest may have dissipated and be banished.
Can you give me any
entirely.
sense of what that period of time might be in your estimation?
I will assess that question, Senator, and I will consult my colleagues on how to apply that particular statute.
What sort of factors do you think you would weigh when considering whether to recuse from a case involving Coinbase or Jones Day? Just give me a little more color as to what kinds of things would cause you to conclude you had a potential conflict of interest or an appearance.
Sure. The parties, the relationship that I may or may not have with the parties involved, the kinds of legal issues that are implicated in the case at hand, whether I had been personally involved in the matter as a private litigant. I think all those would be factors that I would consider.
Mr. Dunlap, I want to talk about one of the pillars of our judicial system, stare decisis. You've written a blog post for your firm about when it might be appropriate for a court to overturn established precedent. If confirmed, when would it be appropriate for you to draft an opinion overturning First Circuit precedent?
So First Circuit precedent could only be overturned en banc, and the court would consider the importance of the issue raised, would consider potential conflicts with other cases in determining whether or not to take it en banc. And if the court did take a case en banc, you would consider a variety of factors. You would consider reliance interest. You would consider the quality of the legal reasoning. You would consider subsequent...
Help me understand, Mr. Dunlap, if you might forgive me, the contours of reliance interest.
So the reliance interest is the extent to which parties may have shaped their conduct in a way that is relying upon the existence of a particular precedent.
And would a precedent that had been well settled for, let's say, 50 years be one that would likely have produced reliance interest?
That would be a possibility. It would certainly be a consideration that the court would need to take into account.
What would you do if asked to apply Supreme Court precedent with which you disagree?
I would be bound by the rulings of the Supreme Court.
And what are the contours of being bound?
I mean, you need to look as a judge at the facts and the legal reasoning of the case, determine how it applies to the case before you. But the court's holding is binding on lower courts.
Thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to both of you.
Let me start with the basics. These guys met with President Donald J. Trump in the Oval Office, face to face. That alone speaks volumes. Unlike the backdoor dealings of the Biden administration, where judges are handpicked by radical activist groups and rubber-stamped through committees, President Trump met with his nominees to make sure they actually understand and uphold the Constitution. Imagine that. A president doing his job. But here's what gets me. The Democrats are already trying to twist it. They act like it's some kind of scandal that Trump met with judicial nominees. You know why? Because they hate transparency when it doesn't serve their woke agenda. When Biden hides in the basement and his handlers pick left-wing activists in robes, it's called normal. But when Trump meets with judges to vet them personally, it's a federal case. Give me a break. Now let's talk about this laughable conflict of interest push they tried to make against Mr. Tong. They grilled him for representing cryptocurrency clients, like it's some kind of criminal enterprise. Let me get this straight. The same folks who let Hunter Biden run wild with international business deals and Chinese spyware money are now suddenly concerned about a Coinbase employee? You can't make this stuff up. Tong gave a textbook response. Recusal will be assessed on a case-by-case basis. That's exactly how the law works. But no, that's not enough for the left. They want conservatives to be guilty by association, while their own nominees could baptize Karl Marx in the Potomac and still get confirmed. Then they bring up Jones Day, Mr. Tong's former law firm. Now remember, Jones Day isn't some shady left-wing operation. It's a respectable firm with a long history. But suddenly, because someone once worked there, they're supposed to be disqualified from ruling on anything remotely related? Let me ask you, where was this scrutiny when Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was rubber-stamped with one foot in an activist organization and the other on the bench? Or when Sotomayor ruled in cases involving her own book publisher? Silence. Crickets. Because the left plays by a completely different rulebook, and it's time we called them out. Then Mr. Dunlap starts talking about stare decisis, a legal term for sticking to precedent, and when it's appropriate to overturn it. You could practically feel the Democrats holding their breath, terrified that one day Roe versus Wade might actually be treated for what it always was. Bad law based on bad reasoning. Dunlap nailed it. He talked about legal reasoning, reliance interest, and the importance of precedent, but he didn't rule out change. And that's key. Because if we're going to take back the courts, we need judges who have backbone, not benchwarmers. We need constitutionalists, not cowards. And that's exactly what these two seem to be. When asked if they would follow Supreme Court precedent even if they personally disagreed, both said yes, because that's how our system works. Unlike the left, who treat Supreme Court rulings as suggestions when they don't like them, conservatives actually believe in law and order. Imagine that. So, what did we learn today, Right View Nation? We learned that President Trump picks winners, constitutional warriors ready to stand up for truth, liberty, and the American way. And we learned that the left will stop at nothing to smear, obstruct, and delegitimize anyone who dares to stand in their way. But we're not backing down. Not now. Not ever. If you stand with real judges, real patriotism, and real America, then hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a like if you're tired of the two-tiered justice system, and leave a comment telling the Senate to confirm these nominees without delay. Because here at Right View Nation, we don't whisper the truth, we shout it. God bless you. God bless our Constitution. And God bless the United States of America. This is Right View Nation, where we don't bend, we don't break, and we sure as hell don't apologize for being American. Catch you on the next one, Patriots. Stay loud, stay proud,